Your time, your energy, and your focus are some of the most valuable things you have. And if you're not careful, you can waste them on the wrong people. The truth is, the people you choose to surround yourself with will either push you toward your goals or hold you back. This is one of those key lessons that will change everything for you. Because when you're constantly investing your time, your energy, and your emotions into people who aren't right for you, you're draining yourself in ways you can't even see. Imagine giving so much of yourself to someone who doesn't value your time or your effort. It feels exhausting, doesn't it? It's like trying to fill up a cup with a hole in it. And that's what happens when you're investing in the wrong people. People who are taking but not giving, who are draining your energy, who aren't supporting you the way you need to be supported. Today, we're diving into why choosing the right people to invest in is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. We'll talk about how to spot the wrong people in your life, how to let go of relationships that no longer serve you, and how to create space for the ones that will help you grow and thrive. The power to shape your life starts with the people you choose to surround yourself with, and once you realize that, everything shifts. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to protect your energy and focus on the relationships that truly matter. So stay with me, because this is the kind of knowledge that can completely transform your life. Let's get started. Number 1, your time and energy are limited. Choose wisely. Don't waste another day giving your time and energy to people who don't deserve it. Every moment you spend with the wrong people is a moment you could have spent building your future, working on your goals, and becoming the person you were meant to be. Most people don't realize this until years have passed, and by then they look back and wonder where their time went. But you don't have to make that mistake. You can take control right now. Think about this: every single day, you wake up with a limited amount of time and energy. It's like having a full battery in the morning. But as the hours pass, that battery starts to drain. Now the real question is, where is your energy going? Who are you spending your time with? Because the truth is, the people you surround yourself with are shaping your life. Whether you realize it or not, they are either pushing you forward or holding you back. They are either lifting you up or pulling you down. And if you're not careful, you will spend years giving your best to people who don't appreciate it, don't deserve it, and will never help you grow. Look at the people around you. Are they helping you become better? Are they pushing you towards success? Are they encouraging you to improve, to learn, to take action? Or are they distracting you, draining you, and keeping you stuck in the same place? The reality is, not everyone in your life deserves your time. Some people are only there to take, to use, to slow you down. And the worst part, you might not even realize it until it's too late. I've seen it happen too many times. People stay stuck in relationships, friendships, and environments that do nothing for them. But they don't leave because they feel obligated. Maybe it's a friend they've known for years. Maybe it's a relative who constantly brings negativity into their life. Maybe it's a coworker who always complains and makes excuses. And instead of walking away, they keep investing their time, hoping things will change. But let me tell you something. Most of the time, things don't change. The only way things change is when you make the decision to change them. You have to be selfish with your time. You have to protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. You cannot afford to spend another second with people who don't inspire you, don't challenge you, and don't believe in you. The more time you give to the wrong people, the less time you have for the right ones, the less time you have for yourself, and the less time you have to build the future you want. I want you to think about something. Imagine you only had 1 year left to live. Just 1 year. Who would you spend that time with? Would you waste it on negative, toxic people who bring you down? Or would you choose to be around people who push you, who love you, who want the best for you? You see, when you realize that your time is limited, your priorities become clear. You stop tolerating people who don't respect you. You stop wasting time on relationships that don't help you grow. You stop feeling guilty for putting yourself first. And I get it. Sometimes it's not easy to walk away. It's not easy to cut people off. But what's the alternative? Staying stuck, wasting years of your life, hoping that things will get better when deep down you know they won't. Life is too short for that. You have to be bold enough to say, I deserve better. You have to be strong enough to let go of anyone who is not helping you move forward. Because the truth is, the right people will never drain you. The right people will never make you feel small. The right people will never hold you back. So I want you to take a hard look at your life right now. Who are you giving your time to? Who are you allowing into your space? Who are you letting influence your thoughts, your energy, your future? If the answer isn't people who uplift you, challenge you, and make you better, then it's time to make a change. Because if you don't, you'll wake up one day realizing you gave all your energy to people who never deserved it. And by then it might be too late. Starting today, make a decision, a real decision, that from now on you will not waste another second on the wrong people. That from now on you will protect your time like it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. And that from now on you will only invest yourself in people who truly deserve it. Because when you do that, everything changes. Your energy changes. Your mindset changes. Your future changes. And most importantly, you change. Number 2. The wrong people will steal your potential. There comes a time in your life when you have to wake up and realize that not everyone around you wants the best for you. Some people are not your supporters. They are not your cheerleaders. They are not your friends. They are simply there because they see an opportunity to take from you. They see your potential. And instead of helping you reach it, they drain you, slow you down, and keep you stuck. The wrong people will steal your potential before you even get the chance to see how far you could have gone. Think about all the moments in your life when you felt inspired, driven, ready to take action. Maybe you had a big goal, an exciting plan, something that made you feel alive, and then you shared it with the wrong person. And what did they do? They filled your mind with doubt. They laughed. They told you it was unrealistic. They reminded you of all the times you failed. They convinced you to wait, to think it over, to be realistic. And just like that, your fire started to fade. Not because you weren't capable, not because your goal wasn't possible, but because you let the wrong person steal your confidence. That's how the wrong people operate. They won't always show up in your life and directly tell you to quit. Sometimes they are more subtle. They plant small doubts in your mind. They make negative comments disguised as jokes. They remind you of your past mistakes, your weaknesses, the things you struggle with. And before you know it, you start to second guess yourself. You start to slow down. You stop pushing yourself. And what happens? Your potential disappears. Not because it wasn't there, but because you let the wrong person talk you out of it. If you're not careful, the wrong people will keep you trapped in a version of yourself that you should have outgrown years ago. They will make sure you never step outside your comfort zone. They will make sure you never take risks. They will make sure you never outshine them. And that's the dangerous part. Some people don't actually want you to fail, but they don't want you to do better than them either. They want you to stay at their level. They want you to be comfortable. They want you to keep playing small, because the moment you grow, the moment you start improving, they feel threatened. And you have to understand this. Some people will act like they support you, but deep down they are hoping you don't make it. They are hoping you give up. Because if you succeed, it forces them to confront their own lack of discipline, their own lack of ambition, their own wasted potential. And instead of using that as motivation to improve themselves, they would rather keep you at their level. You have to start being ruthless about who you allow in your life. You cannot afford to keep giving your time and energy to people who don't believe in you. The longer you keep them around, the more they will steal from you. They will steal your confidence. They will steal your motivation. They will steal your time, and the worst part, they will steal your future. Because every moment you spend listening to their doubts, their negativity, their small-minded thinking is a moment you could have spent working on your dreams. You ever notice how successful people surround themselves with other successful people? That's not a coincidence. That's a choice. Because successful people understand that their environment is everything. They understand that if they spend too much time around the wrong people, it doesn't matter how talented they are, how disciplined they are, how smart they are, they will eventually be dragged down. They don't allow it. They protect their potential like their life depends on it. And that's what you need to do. You need to start asking yourself the hard questions. Who in your life is holding you back? Who in your life is constantly making excuses? Who in your life is always negative, always doubting, always talking about why things won't work, instead of how to make them work? These people are not just wasting their own lives. They are wasting yours too. And you have to decide, are you willing to let that happen? Are you willing to let someone else's small mindset, someone else's negativity, someone else's fears dictate how far you go in life? I'll tell you something: you cannot afford to play small. You cannot afford to waste another second doubting yourself just because someone else doesn't believe in you. The only reason they don't believe in you is because they don't believe in themselves. The only reason they don't support your vision is because they have no vision of their own. And the moment you realize that, you will stop taking their opinions so seriously. You were not put on this earth to live an average life. You were not put here to play it safe, to shrink yourself, to stay in the same place year after year, because you were too afraid to walk away from the wrong people. You were meant for more. You were meant to grow, to evolve, to become everything you are capable of becoming. And the only thing standing in your way is your willingness to let go of the people who are keeping you from it. So today, I want you to make a decision, a real decision, that from this moment forward, you will no longer let the wrong people steal your potential. You will no longer waste your energy trying to convince people to believe in you. You will no longer give your time to people who do nothing but slow you down. Because when you finally make that decision, everything changes. Your mindset changes. Your energy changes. Your future changes. And most importantly, you change. Number 3, you can't change someone who doesn't want to change. It doesn't matter how much you care about them. It doesn't matter how much potential you see in them. It doesn't matter how many chances you give them or how much time you invest in trying to help them. If they are not ready to change, if they do not have the desire to grow, to improve, to become better, then nothing you do will make a difference. And the sooner you accept this, the sooner you will stop wasting your energy on people who refuse to take responsibility for their own lives. Think about all the times in your life when you've tried to help someone who wasn't ready to change. Maybe it was a friend who kept making bad choices. Maybe it was a family member who refused to take control of their situation. Maybe it was a partner who kept promising they would change but never followed through. And no matter how much you tried to encourage them, no matter how many conversations you had, no matter how many opportunities you put in front of them, they stayed the same. They kept making excuses. They kept repeating the same mistakes. They kept rejecting the very help that could have saved them. That is one of the most frustrating things in life, to watch someone you care about destroy their own potential. To see them wasting time, making bad decisions, refusing to take action, and knowing that there is nothing you can do about it. Because here's the truth. People will not change until they decide to change. You cannot force someone to want more for themselves. You cannot drag someone to success. You cannot inspire someone who refuses to be inspired. And let's be honest, it hurts. It hurts when you believe in someone more than they believe in themselves. It hurts when you see their potential, when you know they could be so much more, but they refuse to take that step forward. It hurts when you give them advice, when you offer them help, when you try to lift them up, only for them to reject it and continue on the same self-destructive path. And at some point you have to ask yourself, how much longer am I willing to keep trying? Because here's what happens when you try to change someone who doesn't want to change. You drain yourself. You exhaust your energy. You frustrate yourself. You pour everything you have into them, hoping they will wake up, hoping they will finally see what you see. And the more they resist, the more you try, until eventually you realize that you are the only one fighting for their success. And that's not how change works. Change comes from within. Growth comes from within. No one can do it for them. Now let me tell you what happens when you stop trying to change people and start focusing on yourself. You free yourself from frustration. You take back your energy. You stop wasting your time on people who refuse to take action. And you start surrounding yourself with people who want to grow, people who want to succeed, people who are willing to do the work. Because that's where your energy belongs. Not in fixing people who don't want to be fixed, but in building relationships with people who are just as committed to growth as you are. You see, successful people understand this. They do not waste time trying to convince others to change. They do not beg people to improve. They do not spend their lives dragging people who refuse to move. Instead, they invest their time and energy into those who are ready to grow. And because of that, they keep moving forward. They keep improving. They keep winning. Because they understand one thing: you cannot save someone who does not want to be saved. And I know what you might be thinking, but what if they just need more time? What if I walk away and they finally decide to change? And I'll tell you something: you are not responsible for their timeline. You are not responsible for their choices. You are responsible for yourself, for your growth, your success, your energy. And if someone truly wants to change, they will do it with or without you. That's the key difference between someone who is ready to change and someone who isn't. The ones who are ready take action. They don't need to be convinced. They don't need to be dragged. They don't need to be reminded over and over again. They want it for themselves. And that's the kind of person you should invest your energy in. Someone who wants to grow. Someone who wants to improve. Someone who is willing to put in the effort to make it happen. But the people who resist, the ones who make excuses, the ones who promise they'll change but never do, you have to let them go. Because if you don't, they will pull you down with them. They will drain your energy. They will steal your time. They will make you feel like you are responsible for their problems. And before you know it, you will be so caught up in trying to fix them that you forget to focus on your own life. So here's what you need to do. Stop trying to change people who don't want to change. Stop giving your time and energy to people who refuse to take responsibility for themselves. Stop waiting for people to wake up and realize their potential. Because the truth is, some people never will. Some people will stay the same their entire lives. Some people will keep making the same mistakes. Some people will keep blaming everyone else instead of taking action. And that is their choice. But it does not have to be your burden. You have a responsibility to yourself, to your own growth, your own success, your own happiness. And if you continue to invest in people who don't want to change, you are stealing from your own future. You are wasting the time and energy that could have been used to build yourself, to create something great, to reach your own goals. And for what? For someone who doesn't even appreciate the effort you're putting in. That is not your purpose. That is not your responsibility. You are here to become the best version of yourself. You are here to grow, to evolve, to succeed. And the only way you can do that is by letting go of the people who refuse to take responsibility for their own lives. So starting today, make a decision, a real decision, that you will no longer waste your time trying to change people who do not want to change. That you will no longer carry the weight of other people's problems. That you will no longer invest in people who refuse to invest in themselves. Because when you make that decision, everything changes. Your energy changes. Your focus changes. Your future changes. And most importantly, you change. And when that happens, something incredible takes place. You start attracting people who are just as driven as you are. You start surrounding yourself with people who actually want success, who actually want to grow, who actually want to improve. And that is the kind of environment where real change happens. That is the kind of energy that leads to success. So let go of the ones who are holding you back. Stop trying to fix people who refuse to fix themselves. And watch how quickly your life transforms when you start focusing on what truly matters. Your own growth, your own goals, and your own success. Number 4, wrong people will make you settle for less. You need to understand if you ever want to reach your full potential. Being around the wrong people will make you settle for less than you deserve. It won't happen overnight. It won't happen in one big dramatic moment. It'll happen slowly, bit by bit, choice by choice. You'll start lowering your standards without even realizing it. You'll start accepting things that should be unacceptable. You'll start believing that maybe this is just how life is. But let me tell you something. Life is not meant to be lived in disappointment. You are not meant to settle for mediocrity. But if you keep surrounding yourself with the wrong people, that's exactly what you'll do. Think about it. If the people around you lack ambition, how long before you start losing your own drive? If the people around you make excuses, how long before you start making them too? If the people around you settle for less, how long before you start thinking that settling is normal? You see, the wrong people will make you comfortable in a life that is far below what you are capable of. They will convince you that your dreams are unrealistic, that your goals are too big, that your expectations are too high. And if you listen to them, if you allow them to plant those seeds of doubt in your mind, you will start shrinking. You will start playing small. You will start settling for a version of life that doesn't even come close to what you deserve. You can't afford to let that happen, because once you settle, it's hard to break free. Once you accept less, it becomes a habit. And before you know it, years have passed. Years of making the same excuses. Years of putting off your dreams. Years of telling yourself that maybe this is just how things are. And that is a tragedy. Because the truth is, you are capable of more. You have more potential inside you than you even realize. But potential means nothing if you allow the wrong people to convince you to waste it. Now here's the real danger. The wrong people don't always drag you down in obvious ways. Sometimes it's subtle. Sometimes they don't criticize you outright, but they don't encourage you either. They don't tell you to quit, but they don't push you forward. They don't say your dreams are impossible, but they don't believe in them either. And that lack of support, that indifference, it's just as dangerous as negativity. Because without support, without the right people pushing you, challenging you, believing in you, it's easy to start doubting yourself. You have to be brutally honest with yourself. Look at the people in your life. Are they lifting you up or holding you back? Are they helping you grow or keeping you stuck? Are they encouraging you to be better, to dream bigger, to push harder? Or are they making you comfortable with being average? Because make no mistake, there is no neutral ground. Every person in your life is either pushing you forward or pulling you backward. There is no such thing as standing still. And let me tell you what's really tragic. Some people don't even realize they're settling. They don't even see that they've surrounded themselves with the wrong influences. They don't even recognize that their environment is keeping them stuck. They think this is just how life works. They think they're doing the best they can. But deep down there's this nagging feeling, this quiet voice that says, you were meant for more. And if you feel that, if you've ever had that moment where you know, deep down, that you are capable of so much more than the life you're living, listen to that voice. That's the truth. That's the reality. But it won't matter if you let the wrong people convince you to ignore it. You have to take control. You have to make the hard choices. And that means cutting ties with people who are keeping you small. It means walking away from relationships that no longer serve you. It means being willing to stand alone for a while, if that's what it takes to build a better future. Because here's the thing, when you finally decide that you will no longer settle, when you make the decision that you are going to demand more from life, you're going to lose people. And that's okay. Not everyone is meant to go with you to the next level. Not everyone is meant to be part of your journey. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you will be free to build the life you were meant to live. Some people will call you selfish. They will tell you that you've changed. They will try to make you feel guilty for outgrowing them. But let me tell you something. Growth is not a betrayal. Outgrowing people is not a crime. Wanting more for yourself does not mean you don't care about them. It just means you care about yourself enough to refuse to settle. And that is the best decision you will ever make. Because when you stop settling, when you start demanding more from yourself and from life, everything changes. You start attracting the right people. People who push you. People who inspire you. People who challenge you to become the best version of yourself. And that is the key to success. That is the key to happiness. That is the key to a fulfilling life. But none of that can happen if you keep surrounding yourself with the wrong people. None of that can happen if you keep making excuses for why you can't let go. None of that can happen if you keep allowing other people's mediocrity to define your limits. You have to take responsibility for your own future. You have to decide that you will no longer accept less than what you deserve. And when you make that decision, when you finally refuse to settle, when you finally walk away from the wrong people and start building a life that truly fulfills you, you will never look back. Because once you taste what it's like to live without limits, once you see what you're truly capable of, settling will never be an option again. So make the choice. Walk away from the wrong people. Raise your standards. Demand more from life, and watch how everything changes. Number 5, invest in people who push you forward. If you want to change your life, if you want to grow, succeed, and become the best version of yourself, then you have to make one of the most important decisions of your life. Invest in the right people. Because who you surround yourself with will either build you up or break you down. They will either push you forward or hold you back. There is no in between. Every person in your life is either making you stronger or making you weaker. And if you're serious about becoming better, if you truly want to rise to the top, you cannot afford to waste your time on people who do nothing for your growth. Too many people spend their lives stuck because they invest their energy in people who don't deserve it. They give their time, their support, their loyalty to people who don't appreciate it. And then they wonder why they feel drained, why they feel lost, why they feel like they're going nowhere. Listen, life is already full of challenges, full of struggles. The last thing you need is to carry dead weight. The last thing you need is to surround yourself with people who are comfortable in mediocrity, people who don't push themselves, people who expect everything but give nothing in return. You need to start asking yourself the hard questions. Who in your life is actually helping you grow? Who is pushing you, challenging you, making you think bigger, dream bigger, do better? Who is inspiring you? And on the other side, who is draining you? Who makes you feel small? Who makes you doubt yourself? Who pulls you into drama, negativity, and nonsense that has nothing to do with your goals? Because whether you realize it or not, the people in your life are shaping your future. They are influencing your thoughts, your mindset, your actions. And if you are surrounded by people who do not align with the future you want, you are setting yourself up for failure. Think about the times you've shared an idea, a dream, or a goal with someone. The right people will get excited for you. They will encourage you, push you, and even hold you accountable. The wrong people, they'll laugh, they'll dismiss it, they'll tell you it's not realistic. And if you listen to them, if you let their doubt sink into your mind, you'll start questioning yourself. You'll start hesitating. You'll start pulling back. And before you know it, that fire inside you starts to fade. Not because you weren't capable, not because your dream wasn't possible, but because you allowed the wrong people to poison your belief. It's time to take back control. It's time to invest in the right people. And that doesn't just mean cutting out the wrong ones, although that's necessary too. It means actively seeking out the people who will lift you higher. People who are on the same path, who understand the value of discipline, hard work, and perseverance. People who want to win and want to see you win too. Because when you surround yourself with these people, something incredible happens. Your mindset shifts, your energy changes. You start thinking bigger, working harder, pushing yourself beyond your limits. Successful people understand this. They know that the people they spend time with will determine the quality of their life. That's why they don't entertain mediocrity. They don't waste time on negativity. They don't surround themselves with complainers, gossipers, or excuse makers. They look for people who inspire them, challenge them, force them to grow. And that's exactly what you need to do. If you want to reach the next level, you have to start being intentional about who you let into your life. Stop keeping people around just because of history. Stop feeling obligated to invest in relationships that no longer serve you. Just because someone has been in your life for years doesn't mean they deserve to stay. Loyalty is important, but only when it's mutual, only when it's healthy, only when it's helping you grow. If a relationship is keeping you stuck, if a friendship is making you doubt yourself, if the people around you are more focused on distractions than progress, it's time to walk away. And I know it's not easy. Letting go of people, even the wrong people, is hard. It's uncomfortable. It feels personal. But it's not about them. It's about you. It's about your future. It's about your potential. And you cannot let anyone, no matter who they are, stop you from becoming who you were meant to be. The reality is not everyone is meant to go with you to the next level. Not everyone is meant to be part of your journey. And that's okay. Some people will stay behind, and some people will grow with you. Your job is to make sure you're surrounded by the ones who will help you become better. You deserve to have people in your life who genuinely want to see you succeed. People who clap when you win. People who remind you of your potential when you forget it yourself. People who don't let you settle for less. And if you don't have those people in your life yet, go find them. Read books, go to events, connect with like-minded individuals. Be intentional about building your circle. Because once you do, everything changes. You will start thinking differently. You will start believing in yourself more. You will start taking bigger action. But it starts with a choice to stop investing in the wrong people and start investing in the right ones. A choice to stop tolerating relationships that drain you. a choice to raise your standards for the people in your life. And once you make that choice, once you start surrounding yourself with the right people, you will wonder why you ever settled for anything less. So don't wait. Don't keep making excuses. Don't waste another year, another month, another day on people who are not helping you grow. Take control of your environment. Protect your energy. Invest in people who push you forward, and watch how fast your life changes. Number 6, respect yourself enough to walk away. Sometimes in life, you have to make a decision that is both empowering and liberating. It's a decision that says, I respect myself too much to keep investing my time, energy, and emotions into something or someone that is dragging me down. This isn't easy. It's not about walking away from the good things. It's about walking away from the things, the people, and the situations that no longer serve your growth, that no longer align with the future you're creating. When you start respecting yourself enough to walk away from the wrong situations, it's like taking a weight off your shoulders and finally being free to move forward. I'm not talking about running away from challenges. That's not what I mean. What I'm saying is there comes a time when you have to let go of the people, relationships, and situations that don't bring you joy or help you grow. When you're surrounded by the wrong people, you start doubting your worth. You start questioning yourself. You start feeling like you're not good enough, like you're not capable. And that's not the kind of life you want to live. You want to be surrounded by people who uplift you, who make you feel like anything is possible, who remind you of your greatness when you forget it yourself. But here's the thing, respecting yourself enough to walk away isn't just about the other people. It's about how much you value yourself. It's about knowing your worth and knowing that you deserve to be surrounded by positivity, love, and people who are aligned with your values and goals. Too many people hang on to toxic relationships or situations out of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of disappointing others, fear of the unknown. But the truth is, if you want to grow, if you want to rise to the top, you have to walk away from the things that are holding you back. You have to make the tough choice of putting yourself first, because if you don't, no one else will. There's something incredibly powerful about making that decision to walk away from the wrong people. And I want you to understand this. Walking away doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you are strong enough to say, this isn't working for me anymore. It means you've come to the realization that you're worth more than the pain, than the drama, than the negativity that's been surrounding you. And sometimes the hardest part is realizing that you don't need anyone else's permission to walk away. You don't need someone else's approval to make the decision to leave what's no longer serving you. It's your life, and you get to choose how it plays out. In fact, walking away can be the most powerful form of self-love. It's an act of self-care that most people avoid because they fear the discomfort of change. But trust me, that discomfort is temporary. What lasts is the freedom you gain when you make the choice to invest in your happiness, your success, and your future. It's about understanding that you don't need toxic people in your life to feel validated. You don't need people who make you feel small or unworthy. You don't need to keep fighting for a relationship or situation that constantly drains you, makes you question your worth, or keeps you stuck in a place of uncertainty and doubt. I want you to think about your life for a moment. Are there people who have been weighing you down? Are there relationships that no longer make you feel supported, motivated, or respected? Maybe it's time to take a step back and evaluate what's truly benefiting you and what's not. And I want you to understand this. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to outgrow people. It's okay to decide that a certain person, situation, or relationship no longer fits the person you are becoming. The sooner you do this, the sooner you start making space for the right people, the right opportunities, and the right energy to enter your life. You don't have to keep holding on to the past out of loyalty or guilt. This is your life, and you are allowed to make decisions that prioritize your well-being, your success, and your future. Letting go of people who no longer contribute to your growth doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you someone who values themselves enough to create the life they want. It's about making room for the kind of relationships that challenge you, motivate you, and remind you of your potential. Because you deserve that. You deserve to be surrounded by people who believe in you, who see your potential, and who help you grow into the person you were always meant to be. And let me tell you this, you will be amazed at what happens when you finally respect yourself enough to walk away. You will feel lighter, freer, and more confident. Your energy will shift, your mindset will change, And doors that you never thought would open will suddenly swing wide open. Because when you make room in your life for the right people and the right situations, everything starts to align. You start attracting the things you want. You start moving forward in ways you never thought possible. The key is to make that decision today. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for someone else to give you permission. Take control of your life now and understand that walking away from the wrong people is not just about leaving them behind. It's about choosing yourself. It's about saying, I deserve more than this. I deserve a life filled with positivity, growth, and success. I am worth the effort it takes to walk away from what no longer serves me. And once you make that choice, you'll never look back. You'll see that walking away wasn't the end. It was just the beginning of something much bigger and much better. So make that decision today. Respect yourself enough to walk away from what's holding you back. Your future self will thank you for it. Number 7, don't let guilt keep you stuck. Guilt is one of the most powerful emotions that can hold us back from moving forward. It's like a chain around your ankle, pulling you back every time you try to take a step in the direction of your dreams. But here's the thing, guilt has no place in your life when you're making decisions that are ultimately in your best interest. You see, guilt thrives on manipulation, on trying to control you by making you feel responsible for things that aren't even your burden. It keeps you stuck in situations, stuck in relationships, stuck in cycles that drain you. But I'm telling you right now, you have the power to let go of that guilt and break free. When you make the decision to walk away from something that's not right for you or someone who doesn't respect you, guilt is often the first thing that tries to creep in. It'll whisper things like, what will they think of me? What if I hurt their feelings? And those thoughts can paralyze you. They make you second guess your decision, question your instincts, and ultimately keep you in a place that doesn't serve you. Let me tell you, this is one of the greatest tricks your mind will try to play on you. Guilt is a lie that keeps you from living the life you're meant to live. It convinces you that you're responsible for the feelings of others, and it makes you feel like a bad person for putting yourself first. But what I want you to understand is that taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's essential. You need to respect yourself enough to walk away from people, situations, and even habits that no longer align with the person you're becoming. And yes, I know it's not always easy, but the longer you stay in a toxic situation, the more it will drain you. Guilt will make you feel responsible for other people's emotions, for their happiness, and for their well-being. But guess what? Their happiness is not your responsibility. It's theirs. And you can't carry that weight forever. You've got to free yourself from the burden of trying to please everyone else and focus on what truly makes you happy, what truly lights you up. You have every right to prioritize your own well-being, your own dreams, and your own future. I want you to understand this. Guilt isn't a reflection of who you are. It's a reflection of the way you've been conditioned to think. You've been taught that it's wrong to let people down, that it's selfish to focus on yourself. But that's not true. The truth is, you can't give your best to anyone else if you're constantly running on empty. You can't pour from an empty cup. So it's essential that you start filling your own cup first. Start putting yourself in a position where you can thrive, where you can be the best version of yourself. And when you do that, when you choose yourself over guilt, you'll notice something amazing happening. Your energy shifts. You become stronger, more confident, and more aligned with the life you truly want to live. One of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is that we're being good by staying in situations that drain us, or by sticking around people who don't respect us. We convince ourselves that if we just keep giving, keep sacrificing, that everything will eventually work out. But what often happens is that we lose ourselves in the process. We forget who we are. We forget our dreams. We forget what we want out of life because we're too busy trying to manage other people's emotions. And that's exactly what guilt does. It keeps us stuck in a loop of self-sacrifice, a loop that keeps us from moving forward. Now I want you to hear this loud and clear. You do not owe anyone your happiness. You do not owe anyone your energy. You do not owe anyone your time if they are not giving you the respect, love, and energy that you deserve in return. And I don't care how much guilt tries to tell you otherwise. Your happiness is worth the effort it takes to protect it. When you start letting go of guilt, when you start respecting yourself enough to say no more, You open the door to new possibilities, new opportunities, and a new version of yourself. The right people, the right circumstances, and the right energy will start showing up in your life because you've made the space for them. So when that guilt comes knocking at your door, I want you to remember this. It's not your responsibility to fix other people's emotions. It's not your responsibility to hold on to a relationship or situation that doesn't make you feel valued, respected, and loved. You have a right to walk away, to say no more, and to choose yourself. And when you do that, you're not only freeing yourself, you're also making room for the right people to enter your life. The ones who respect you, who value you, and who will be there to support you as you continue to grow into the person you were always meant to be. I want you to think about it. What would your life look like if you could let go of the guilt? What would your life look like if you stopped worrying about what other people think and started focusing on what makes you happy? Imagine the possibilities. Imagine the freedom that comes with making decisions based on what's best for you, not based on fear of disappointing someone else. Imagine how much stronger, more confident, and more fulfilled you would feel if you just let go of the guilt and allowed yourself to step into the life you truly deserve. You see, the key to breaking free from guilt is recognizing that it's a tool of manipulation. It's designed to keep you stuck, to keep you small, and to keep you from stepping into your power. But I'm telling you, the moment you let go of that guilt, you will feel lighter, freer, and more empowered than ever before. You will begin to see that every choice you make from this point forward is leading you closer to the life you want, and that life is worth fighting for. So the next time guilt tries to hold you back, I want you to remember, you have the power to let it go. You have the right to choose yourself, to choose your happiness, and to create a future that is aligned with your highest potential. Don't let guilt be the thing that keeps you from living the life you were born to live. It's time to set yourself free. Number 8, wrong people use you. The right people value you. When you truly understand your value, you start recognizing how important it is to protect your energy. Too often, people will come into your life and try to use you for their own benefit. It might not be obvious at first, but it's a gradual thing. They take and take. And before you know it, you're giving so much of yourself that you've forgotten what it feels like to be appreciated, to be respected, and to be truly seen for who you are. These people aren't there to lift you up. They aren't there to support you or celebrate your wins. They're just there to get what they want. And once they've taken all they need, they'll disappear without a second thought. And you, my friend, will be left wondering how you gave so much to someone who never really cared. What makes this situation even more painful is the fact that we often ignore the red flags. We ignore the signs that someone isn't treating us the way we deserve to be treated. We justify their behavior because we think we're being kind, or we think they'll change. We give them the benefit of the doubt, time and time again. We tell ourselves that they're going through something, or they need help, or they just don't know any better. But what we fail to realize is that we're not responsible for fixing other people. We're not responsible for carrying the weight of their emotions, their problems, or their struggles. We're only responsible for ourselves and for the energy we allow into our lives. Let me tell you something important. The right people in your life will never use you. The right people will never take advantage of your kindness, your time, or your love. Instead, they will appreciate it. They will reciprocate it. They will lift you up, challenge you, and support you in ways that make you feel valued. They will celebrate your victories as if they're their own. And when you're struggling, they will be there to hold you up. But these relationships don't happen by accident. You have to choose the right people. You have to be intentional about who you allow into your life. And you have to have enough respect for yourself to walk away from people who use you for their own gain. It can be so easy to get caught up in trying to please people, to try to be everything for everyone, to make everyone around you happy. But I'm here to tell you something that might be hard to hear. You can't do it. You can't make everyone happy, and you shouldn't have to. Your worth is not determined by how much you can give to others or how much you can sacrifice for them. It's determined by who you are at your core, by the love you give to yourself, and by the standards you set for the relationships you allow into your life. The wrong people will always find a way to drain you, to use your time, your resources, and your energy, and they will never give anything back. They will keep taking until there's nothing left. And when you have nothing else to offer, they'll walk away. And that's when you'll feel the most empty. That's when you'll realize that you've given so much of yourself to someone who never truly cared about you in the first place. But here's the good news. You don't have to let it happen again. You don't have to keep falling into the same trap. You see, the key to protecting yourself from these people is to set boundaries. It's to recognize when you're giving too much, when you're giving to someone who isn't reciprocating, and when you're in a relationship that isn't truly fulfilling you. And the hardest part is realizing that sometimes you have to let go of people who are using you. It's hard to walk away from someone you care about, even when you know they're not treating you right. But I promise you, the moment you let go of these relationships, you'll create space for the right people to enter your life. The right people will value you, they will cherish you, and they will treat you the way you deserve to be treated. It's time for you to stop accepting anything less than what you deserve. Stop letting people use you. Stop allowing others to take advantage of your kindness, your love, and your time. You are not a resource to be drained. You are a person with your own dreams, goals, and aspirations. And you have the right to protect your energy and invest it in the people who truly value you. When you start setting boundaries and walking away from relationships that don't serve you, you'll begin to notice a shift. You'll start feeling stronger, more confident, and more empowered. You'll begin to surround yourself with people who lift you up, who inspire you, and who make you feel like you belong. And when you have those kinds of people in your life, your growth is limitless. You'll find that your energy increases, your mindset shifts, and you become the best version of yourself. But here's the thing, you have to be willing to let go. You have to be willing to walk away from people who use you, from people who take and never give back. You have to be willing to say no to people who don't respect your boundaries, your time, and your energy. And when you do, you'll create space for the right people to come into your life, the people who will add value, who will love you, and who will help you grow. You have one life, one precious life, and you deserve to spend it with people who value you. So don't waste another minute giving your energy to the wrong people. Don't let anyone use you. Don't let anyone drain you. And don't let anyone make you feel like you're not enough. You are enough. You are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. And you have the power to create a life filled with people who see that, who honor that, and who will be there to support you every step of the way. So the next time you feel someone using you, taking from you, or draining your energy, I want you to remember this. You have the right to walk away. You have the right to choose who you give your energy to. And you have the power to fill your life with people who will value you for who you are. Don't let anyone use you. You are worth so much more than that. Number 9, your environment shapes your mindset, whether you realize it or not. The people you surround yourself with, the places you go, and the energy that fills your space have a profound impact on your mindset. Imagine trying to build a beautiful house on a foundation that's weak and unstable. No matter how hard you work, no matter how much effort you put in, the foundation will always determine how solid that house will be. If your foundation is built on negativity, doubt, and people who drag you down, that's exactly what you'll have in your life. Instability, stress, and a lack of progress. On the flip side, when you create an environment that is positive, uplifting, and aligned with your goals, everything in your life shifts. You begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You begin to believe in yourself in ways you never thought possible. And most importantly, you start becoming the person you were meant to be. The power of your environment to influence your success is undeniable. It shapes how you think, how you feel, and ultimately, how you act. The people you choose to be around, the conversations you engage in, the books you read, the habits you adopt, these things matter. Think about the people you spend your time with. Are they lifting you up, challenging you to grow, or are they holding you back? If you surround yourself with people who are constantly negative, who are constantly questioning your dreams, who only talk about the problems in life without offering solutions, that energy is contagious. It will start to seep into your own mindset. And before you know it, you'll begin to think and act just like them. You'll start doubting your abilities, questioning your worth, and wondering if you'll ever achieve what you've set out to do. That's the power of a toxic environment. It breeds self-doubt and negativity. But when you surround yourself with people who are driven, who are positive, who believe in possibilities and solutions, your mindset starts to shift in the most powerful way. You begin to see the world differently. You start believing that success isn't a matter of luck, but of hard work, persistence, and the right mindset. You begin to think bigger. You begin to believe that the impossible is possible. And as you continue to surround yourself with positive influences, your mindset begins to expand. You no longer see yourself as a small part of a world that's out of your control. You see yourself as a creator, a person who has the power to shape their future, their life, and their destiny. The right environment can change everything for you. It can push you to become the person you need to be in order to achieve your dreams. Think about it. How often do you hear people talk about their goals, but they're stuck because they don't have the right support system? They don't have the right people cheering them on, reminding them that they're capable of achieving great things. They don't have the right mentors or friends who challenge them to reach higher, to push harder, to do better. They're surrounded by people who make excuses, who settle for less, who are content with mediocrity. But if you want to succeed, if you want to achieve more than you ever thought possible, you have to surround yourself with people who push you forward. You need people who see your potential, even when you don't. You need people who encourage you to keep going when the road gets tough. You need people who celebrate your successes, but also challenge you to grow beyond your current limits. These people aren't just friends. They're the people who will help you build the foundation for the life you want to create. They'll help you stay focused, stay determined, and stay on track when the world tries to distract you. Creating the right environment doesn't just happen. It takes effort, intention, and sometimes it takes sacrifice. You have to be willing to let go of relationships and situations that are holding you back. You have to be willing to say no to negativity, drama, and toxic influences. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. When you eliminate the things and people who drain your energy, you make room for the things and people who will help you grow. You make room for the positive energy that will propel you forward. And let me tell you this, when you start creating the right environment for yourself, something magical happens. You begin to attract more of the same. When you begin to vibrate at a higher level, when you start thinking positively, acting with purpose, and surrounding yourself with people who want to see you succeed, you'll start attracting opportunities you never thought possible. You'll start meeting the right people who can help you along your journey. You'll begin to see doors opening that were once closed to you. This is the power of creating an environment that nurtures growth, positivity, and success. Your environment shapes everything. It shapes your thoughts, your actions, your decisions, and your outcomes. The way you think about yourself and the world around you is heavily influenced by the people you spend your time with and the spaces you inhabit. If you want to achieve something great, if you want to grow beyond where you are now, you need to look at the environment you've created for yourself. You need to take a step back and evaluate whether it's helping you or hindering you. If it's not helping you, make the changes necessary to create an environment that will push you forward. When you choose to surround yourself with people who challenge you to be better, who encourage you to pursue your goals relentlessly, and who support you every step of the way, you're setting yourself up for success. You're building a foundation that will help you achieve anything you set your mind to. You're creating an environment that will fuel your ambition, your drive, and your dreams. So start today. Look around you and ask yourself, are the people in the environment I've created for myself helping me become the person I want to be? Are they lifting me up, pushing me forward, and helping me reach my goals? If not, it's time to make a change. It's time to surround yourself with people who will challenge you, inspire you, and help you become the best version of yourself. You deserve that kind of environment. You deserve to be surrounded by people who support you and want to see you succeed. And when you do that, there's nothing that can stop you from achieving greatness. Number 10, choose relationships that align with your goals. I don't just mean people who are friendly or those you occasionally chat with. I'm talking about the kind of relationships that are built around shared purpose, shared values, and a mutual drive to succeed. When you surround yourself with people who align with where you want to go in life, it's like you're setting yourself up with the perfect environment to thrive. You begin to feel like you're part of a bigger vision, a bigger picture, and it energizes you in ways that nothing else can. Think about it for a second. When you are around people who support your goals, who understand what you're working towards, it becomes easier to stay focused. You're not fighting against distractions or negative opinions. Instead, you're surrounded by individuals who are either walking the same path as you or are helping guide you along the way. These kinds of relationships allow you to move through life with a sense of purpose and direction. You begin to hold yourself accountable not just because you want to, but because you're in a space where accountability is a shared value When you are aligning yourself with people who are moving in the same direction, it's almost like everything you do becomes amplified. Every conversation, every shared goal, every moment of challenge, it all becomes easier because you're not in it alone. The energy of the people around you feeds your own energy. Their belief in you adds fuel to your own belief in yourself. This is the power of relationships that are in sync with your goals. Take a moment to think about the people in your life. Are they helping you get closer to where you want to go? Are they pushing you to be better, to think bigger, to act more boldly? Or are they keeping you comfortable, offering you excuses and justifications for why things can't happen? It's time to recognize the importance of having relationships that not only understand your goals, but actively contribute to them. The people who believe in you not just when things are easy, but when you're struggling and questioning yourself, are the people who will help you succeed. Imagine waking up every day knowing you're surrounded by people who want you to reach the highest version of yourself. Imagine every conversation you have being a conversation about growth, about overcoming challenges, and about success. This kind of environment is contagious. It's a catalyst for growth. When you're around individuals who are motivated, driven, and focused on their own personal development, that energy begins to seep into your own mindset. You become more motivated to take action. You become more focused on your goals because you're in a space where growth is the norm, not the exception. Choosing relationships that align with your goals is also about making sure that those people respect your time, your energy, and your boundaries. Too often we give our time and attention to people who don't value it, people who drain our energy and distract us from what really matters. But when you're intentional about the relationships you form, when you choose to surround yourself with individuals who respect your ambition and support your drive, you protect your time and your energy. These relationships become a shield that helps you stay on track, no matter what external challenges arise. And here's the truth. You can't afford to waste time with relationships that don't serve your growth. Your time is limited, and every moment you spend with someone who isn't supporting your goals is a moment you could have spent moving closer to your dreams. This isn't about being selfish or cutting people off. It's about recognizing the value of your own time and ensuring that the people you spend it with are worthy of it. It's about creating space in your life for people who will help you rise, not pull you down. When you find people who are aligned with your goals, it changes everything. The way you approach challenges becomes different because you know you have a support system. You're not out there facing obstacles alone. You have people who are cheering for your success and who are willing to help you when you need it. This kind of support gives you the courage to face challenges head on, to keep moving forward even when things get tough. At the same time, it's important to recognize that relationships are not one-sided. They should be reciprocal. You don't just take from others, you give as well. The relationships that align with your goals are those in which you're both giving and receiving value. You're offering your support, your insight, your encouragement, and they're doing the same for you. It's this kind of dynamic that creates lasting, meaningful connections, the kind of connections that fuel your growth and help you achieve your goals. You don't have to do this alone. You were never meant to. Success is not about individual achievement. It's about collective energy, collective effort, and being part of a community that supports and uplifts each other. When you form relationships that align with your goals, you become part of something bigger than yourself. You become part of a tribe of people who are all working towards greatness, and that energy is infectious. It propels you forward, helping you overcome the obstacles that might otherwise seem insurmountable. The people you choose to surround yourself with are some of the most important decisions you'll ever make. They will shape the person you become, the actions you take, and the success you experience. So choose wisely. Surround yourself with people who align with your goals, who challenge you to grow, and who push you to become the best version of yourself. These relationships will not only help you succeed, they'll make the journey more fulfilling, more exciting, and more rewarding. It's time to be intentional about the relationships you form. Surround yourself with people who align with your vision for the future. Protect your time, protect your energy, and make sure that the people you invest in are those who will help you reach the heights you're capable of achieving. Because when your relationships are aligned with your goals, there's no limit to what you can accomplish.